I'm particularly excited about today's video. I'm not gonna lie to you, a little bit nervous. I was talking to a young man that I mentor, and when he first came to me, he literally had a horrible situation. But he told me that he wanted me to share with you the tips that have literally changed his life. When he and I met, he was just trying to find his fitness. He had just broken up with his girlfriend, and he was finding himself in his early 30s, trying to identify what it is that he could do to do something that he will be proud of financially, but also the relationship that he had with himself. And when he and I met, we really connected around the power of the mind and the body and how everything is connected in truly delivering the life that we want. And so I want to share with you in this video the specific notes and the 7 points that have allowed him to completely transform his life. I'm so proud of him. He's now able to have jobs in the tech sector, finding a new passion. He's able to build the knowledge about financial literacy for once. He has implemented a budget that has transformed his credit score and the relationship that he has with his body. He has now been able to lose 15 pounds and be in the best shape of his life. I'm excited to share those with you. And the last one is literally the one that takes everything together and that you can implement in your life immediately. So here are 7 things that rob us of our limitless energy potential. And once you integrate those as part of your development process every single day and you commit to it, you will see how everything in your life starts transforming. And the things that you once thought were just so energy draining now become so smooth, and how you beast through them every single day in such an effortless flow. The number one trap that we fall into that robs ourselves of our limitless energy is when we start to think in terms of being one-dimensional. When we try to change our lives, we start to have an action plan and a strategy. We start to build habits. But what we don't realize is that several times when we have checklists, when we have habits, when we have this thing that we're so consistent about, we start developing this confirmation and consistency bias that leads us to living a life of diminishing returns. And we forget that there's more to just being one-dimensional, that we have different sides to ourselves, our body, mind, soul, heart, spirit, that we have both masculine and feminine energy, that we both need internal and external factors to drive us, that we're not just someone who spends time in silence, but we also need to go and out there and connect and contribute, that we are way more than just this one thing that we say we do, that this one checklist, this one habit. Every time that you feel like your energy is draining, learn to tap into this power of changing the channel. Just as if you were watching a TV show. Change the show and you'll see how your energy just start to change. Sometimes when you're right in front of your computer, as they say, get up and go for a walk. Sometimes go and eat some food, try different foods, do different things, listen to different types of music. Don't allow yourself to be defined by this one dimension, because you then realize that you start building this own jail. You enslave your own self, and you are the one holding the keys. And we're then wondering why we don't feel free in our lives when we force ourselves into these boxes and these labels that we must identify to. So change your dimension and learn to be more than just one-dimensional. And you'll see how your energy can suddenly shift from being super low to immediately skyrocketing, just because you were able to tap onto all those different channels as tools, as part of an arsenal of assets that you can pull from at any moment of your day, anytime you feel down. And that you understand that focus must be part of framing, and that framing is a superpower, that without framing, habits and anything in your life can be seen as a negative, and that what you think is low energy is just you having lost of this frame of mind that you're way more than just one-dimensional. Which leads to my second point that robs you of your limitless energy potential. And that is when you think that your emotions are against you. I hear all the time this talk about discipline, how you cannot listen to your emotions. But as I mentioned with the power of framing, when you have a clear intention of exploration, development, discovery, and commitment, and you have a direction in your life, through that intention, as you have your eyes set on that North Star, everything becomes an asset. The truth is, emotions are your superpower. When I was unemployed over a year, facing literally the most challenging time of my life, pain is what allowed me to walk to the gym, to push through those reps, to do the cardio. When I understood that I could turn my pain into my power, I literally tapped onto this source of energy that didn't cost me any money, that wasn't a food, that wasn't someone's support. It was literally what was within me, and it was my emotions. What we don't understand is that our insecurities, our fears, our limiting beliefs, the very things that scare us are the things that can literally transcend every obstacles. And that is the natural superpower that we have, but that we always keep running away from. And yes, it's okay to have discipline. But the discipline also needs to be part of having the discipline to listen to your emotions and to develop the emotional intelligence and the mindset and the values and the virtues so that you can channel those emotions into the superpower that they can be. Anger, disappointment, all those are part of the things that you can integrate as part of the things that will turn you into the person that you want to be. And that you understand that you are way more than just this social mask, and that you're way more than someone who smiles all day. As Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist, explored the different facets of our being, our shadow side, our dark side, our ego, all of those are part of you. And when you understand that your emotions are not against you, but are just waiting for you to see them as the superpower that they can be, you will literally tap onto the source of energy that is bigger than anything you can ever imagine. Which leads to my third point, which is one of the things that robs us from our limitless energy is when we're too focused on actions and not presence. It's good to have the habits and do things all the time, even when we don't even think about it. But there's a difference between going through the motion and being present. As Kobe Bryant once said, it's not about the number of hours that we practice. It's about the number of hours where our mind is present. But it's not just your mind, soul, heart, spirit. Are you actually engaged in the moment? Earlier today, in my workout, I realized that I was just going through the motion. My mind was thinking about the videos I was gonna make, the investments I was gonna make, and I was just lethargic. And when I literally slowed down the time, readjusted my form, changed the music, put myself into that zone, put my hat down, focused on my breathing, slowed down the pace, became very deliberate about my contraction. By doing this for one set, then actively resting and getting more into that zone, focusing on the rest period, I literally turned a workout that seemed like just another random workout, best workout that I've had over the last 10 days. That is the superpower that is within our reach at every single moment, to reconnect ourselves with being present, whether it's in the investment that we make, being able to slow down the time and forget about what happened yesterday and think about what is it that is going on right now. Or when we are with our significant others, or when we are in our business, what is going on right now, and allowing ourselves to literally take everything around us instead of having these blinders where we're so focused on this habits and going through the motion that we miss the very opportunity that is right now. And when you do that, you literally learn to tap onto this infinite source of energy that only becoming present can give you. And that leads to my next point. The fourth thing that robs us of limitless energy is when you're too focused on identity and proving that you are something rather than being. We don't realize how when we have our habits, when we go through things, we mistake doing things with being the thing. We want to act like we're doing the thing. And then we sometimes allow that to make us lie that we're doing the thing. We start trying to do things just to look like the person who does the thing. But what about actually being the person? And when you have that perspective, when you are the person that actually lives a fit lifestyle, you understand that it's not just about posting selfies and going out there and being perfect in front of everyone. That you understand that there will be times where you'll go through ups and downs. You understand that you're not always going to be perfect. The same way, if you're so focused on making millions of dollars all the time, you miss the point that you need to go through those moments where you lose money. You need to go through those moments where you're not making any money, that you're learning, that you're making mistakes. The same way with a relationship, you're not always going to be perfect. All of your actions are not always going to be perfect, but the improvement, the learning. When you learn to embrace all of those as part of your being, you gain a whole new level of appreciation for the moment. And that gives you a whole different energy level when you approach things as all part of the journey, all part of the process. And you literally become excited and grateful about the things that in the past you were not even paying attention about. Which leads to my next point. When you feel like your energy levels are low, a lot of times is because your intention is not rooted within. I didn't realize for most part of my 20 years that I lived in my 40-year journey that external validation and focusing on what others were doing was robbing me of literally my energy. I was so focused on waiting around for this thing that would happen. I was waiting around for people to come and support me, for people to come and compliment me, that I didn't actually allow myself to tap into the energy that I had in that moment. And that is why intention starts with the word. And internal, within, is where you will connect high, is where you connect with that thing that will light up your soul, that will wake you up early in the morning and keep you up late at night. And tend is direction. To intend starts with connecting within and having direction from there and allowing that to literally drive everything that you do so effortlessly. When you have a clear intention, you have no idea how excited, how your anticipation will be, how your mind will be rushing with new ideas, with creative solutions, because you connected with that thing within you that gave you a sense of direction. And where before you felt like you had no energy, now suddenly, just through the power of intention, your energy levels will suddenly skyrocket and will literally change your life. Which leads to my next point. 6. The thing that stops us from having limitless energy is when we forget that we have the ownership. Having ownership is so important because it is understanding that it is on us and that we cannot go and blame others, that it's not on us to change others, but that we can rather change ourselves, that others will not necessarily understand our vision, our values, and that it is okay. When we allow ourselves to give ownership of our own lives to others, we start blaming, we start pointing fingers, and that removes our positive energy, the energy that we can focus onto things that we can actually control. And to take ownership of things means to understand the power that we have, the responsibility that you have. Like a parent will understand that without them, their kids will not have anything to eat. Like a person will understand that without them, the business cannot survive. When you take ownership, you literally tap into this whole new level of energy that can take you to the next level. Which leads to my seventh and last point, which is the most important point in my view, that has literally transformed my energy levels and literally drive me every single day, is that one of the things that stop us from being limitless is when we are so focused on the destination instead of the flow. Be, live. All starts with being, then turns into living and actions. And then from there, everything that we deserve, that is meant for us, will come in due time to align with that. You don't realize how much you're allowing yourself to be stuck onto this achievements, that you don't actually become the person that can achieve those things effortlessly. You're so focused on doing things and copying others that you're robbing yourself of actually being the person that goes and explores, discovers, develops, makes mistakes. You can literally change your energy levels by rechanging how you view life. To understand that the process is all that you have. To understand that achievements, that destinations are nothing without you going through the process. And when you literally gain that appreciation for being in the flow, from being the person that does the thing anyway, from being the person who is the person who does the thing with the values, who actually believes the things, and you're not acting or lying to others about what it is you're doing, and you actually flowing effortlessly because you are right here, right now. You literally start vibrating at a whole different level. I know that for me, when I started focusing on myself and what I could control, but allowing my being to turn into actions and stop focusing on achievements and looking like I was doing something, my energy levels completely changed. And where I thought before I was stuck, then turned to me moving powerfully, marching on towards my goals and even higher goals every single day. As always, wherever you are, wherever you come from, fam, you are destined for greatness. Get busy living, not busy dying. Love.